He was clearly a top sniper, a soldier the country spent hundreds of millions to train. Yet during an overseas mission, he was ruthlessly betrayed by his scheming superior.
Shut it down. Highly trained men 8 kilometers inside a country we are not supposed to be in. I'm sure you'll get out just fine. Shut it down. Okay, wrap it up.
Just like that, 2 soldiers who had served their nation with loyalty were discarded like pawns and abandoned in the middle of a war zone. At first, they thought it was just a simple peacekeeping mission, but as they looked over the quiet valley ahead, Donnie couldn't help but ask a question.
You sure this is a peacekeeping mission? Normally there isn't a peace start with.
Before his words even settled, a convoy of allies rushed toward them in panic, and soon Donnie spotted hostile forces approaching. The two had been partners for years. Their tacit understanding needed no words. Donnie immediately calculated and reported distance and wind speed. Jack quickly adjusted his windage scope based on the data, and began aiming. Just like that, a high-value target was swiftly taken down by Jack. The Allied convoy could finally breathe a sigh of relief and safely retreat. Just as Donnie was about to call for helicopter extraction, Jack suddenly spotted a large number of hostile fighters through his scope. They were far too close. Opening fire recklessly would only expose their own position, but the mission came first. Jack still pulled the trigger. With Donnie assisting him, Jack became like the Grim Reaper on the battlefield, reaping lives one after another. Drivers, gunners, enemy commanders, none could escape his crosshairs. Realizing what was happening, the enemy convoy quickly set up mortars and began bombardment. As shells exploded dangerously close, Donnie grew worried they would be blindly hit. He immediately called for backup from command, but their superior, watching the battle unfold, coldly turned his head away, pretending not to see. It was clear now, in his plan these 2 men were meant to sacrifice themselves covering the retreat. Hearing their desperate pleas over the radio, the heartless superior directly ordered communications cut off. The nearby soldiers exchanged shocked glances, but a soldier's duty is to follow orders. Once the radios were shut down, the commander immediately ordered his men to erase all evidence of this retreat battle. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Jack and Donnie were in serious trouble. An enemy helicopter had arrived, releasing smoke to block their line of sight, then unloading heavy fire on their position. Staying put meant being shredded to pieces. The 2 of them rose and returned fire, but hitting a moving pilot mid-flight was no easy task. The helicopter quickly launched a second round of strafing fire, and before Jack's eyes, his lifelong brother-in-arms fell lifeless to the ground. Furious, Jack tore open a nearby camouflaged case, revealing an M82 Barrett anti-material sniper rifle. He immediately took position, determined to bring the bird down. With a precise shot, he successfully struck the helicopter, sending it crashing down. Using the smoke for cover, he managed to escape the battlefield. Not long after, the very commander who had betrayed them was mysteriously assassinated by a distant sniper round. As for Jack, shattered by betrayal, he chose to retire. He could no longer serve a military that had turned its back on him. From then on, he lived a quiet, reclusive life, just a man and his dog. But peaceful days are always short-lived. After only a few days of rest, Jack was approached by a group of men in suits. Leading them was Colonel Isaac. He brought Jack a Congressional Medal of Honor, the nation's highest symbol of recognition, yet Jack showed no joy at this honor. He knew that if the colonel was making such an offer, then there must be an extremely difficult mission behind it. The CIA had intercepted highly reliable intelligence. A group of terrorists was planning to assassinate the president during an upcoming public speech. What was shocking was that the planned shot would come from an unprecedented distance, a full mile away. After reviewing all available records, the colonel discovered that only Jack had ever achieved such a feat. So he sincerely invited Jack to serve as special advisor for the president's speech. Jack didn't give a clear answer, but the colonel could tell. Jack had already agreed. In the lonely mountains, Jack stared at the setting sun in silence. His thoughts drifted to his youth, almost entirely consumed by military service. He remembered why he had joined the army to fight for his country. He simply couldn't stand by and let the president be assassinated. In the end, he decided to act. The next day, he opened his gun cabinet and pulled out his long-stored rifle. After carefully cleaning it, he placed a paint bucket 1 mile away. He calculated the trajectory and wind speed, then slid a bullet into the chamber. He wanted to test with his own hands whether a 1-mile kill shot was truly possible. When the target exploded apart, Jack made up his mind. He would return to the battlefield and act to protect the president.
The Triad wanted to take out Merlin, but Merlin didn't run. Instead, he found his son Tommy and headed up to top floor. That's where his safe house was. The sniper couldn't find his target, so he started moving around. They sent assassins after Merlin. Oliver showed up just in time. He covered Merlin and Tommy while they got out of there. Merlin took out the killers blocking their way like it was nothing. They made it to the safe house. All the windows were bulletproof. Tommy was totally shocked by what his dad could do. He asked his father why he was so good at fighting, and how he could kill people without even blinking. Merlin decided it was time to tell him the truth. He was the Black Arrow. Merlin collapsed. Oliver got there just in time. He checked out the sniper's bullet and found it was laced with poison. Oliver told Tommy that without a blood transfusion, his father was going to die. But Tommy didn't trust the vigilante. No matter what Oliver said, Tommy kept telling him to back off.
If you don't let me help you now, he's dead before anybody gets here. Why should I trust you?